Around 2 months ago, I uploaded a video in which I checked out the post-game of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, and while it was pretty solid, minus that rage-inducing Darkrai fight, the comments let me know that there were still plenty of things to cover even after defeating the main villain. This includes tasks such as recruiting more legendary Pokemon, making drinks with Spinda, and taking on the Zero Isles. There was just too much content that I failed to highlight in the first video, so I felt that it was only right to give Explorers of Sky's postgame another look, just as I have in 17 other videos on the channel. It's also worth mentioning that there's not too much coverage of this content on the internet, at least in terms of a walkthrough guide, so I'm sort of just winging it, meaning I could definitely still miss a thing or two along the way. Nonetheless, make sure to hit that sub button as it really helps out the channel, and without further ado, it's time to actually play through the post game of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. So the major thing I missed is the amount of legendaries that become recruitable after defeating Darkrai. The first group is pretty simple, as they either automatically join your team, or you have to challenge a legendary to a battle. This includes Cresselia on Sharpedo Bluff, Phione under the Deep Miracle Sea, Shaman on the Sky Peak Summit Pass, Uxie in the Upper Steam Cave, Mesprit in the Quicksand Pit, Azelf in the Crystal Crossing, Palkia in the Spatial Rift, and the Regis in the Aegis Cave. Then, after completing a few regular missions, Manaphy will meet you on Sharpedo Bluff and offer to tag along. A couple missions after that, it'll inform you that the Marine Resort dungeon is now explorable, which is important, as that unlock will allow you to recruit some other legends in just a bit. Around this same time though, the two Ursarangs will meet you in Treasure Town, claiming that something feels different about the Luminous Springs, and that you should probably take a look. It turns out that they were right, as you are finally able to evolve your team members, although I feel like it's a little too late to take advantage of this. Anyways, the next thing to do is enter a few codes into the Wonder Mail feature, which will make two jobs appear on the bulletin board, finding the mystery part and secret slab. Now I'm not sure if this is the only way to make these jobs appear, but it's the only one that I could find. Nonetheless, you'll want to complete these tasks and have both the mystery part and secret slab in your bag, as they're required for the next set of legendaries, along with having Marine Resort available. Basically, by going to various floors in certain dungeons, you'll be guaranteed to encounter 9 different legendary Pokemon, ranging from the Kanto Birds, Johto Box Arts, Celebi, the Latias, Deoxys, and Darkrai. Unfortunately, not only do you have to defeat them, but they all have very bad recruitment rates, as you can see on this chart. As a matter of fact, Deoxys and Darkrai have negative percentages, meaning you'll have to figure out how to raise their rates, which brings me to the next category, the 7 treasures. In order to access the 7 dungeons where these treasures can be found, you'll need to make drinks with Spinda in the cafe. I'm not exactly sure how this whole process works, or if you need to make specific drinks to unlock specific dungeons, but thankfully you can just take the easy route and enter different Wonder Mail codes to unlock the dungeons as well. Each of which plays home to a legendary at the end, who you must defeat to receive the treasure, allowing you to boost Pokemon's recruitment rates. However, these Pokemon's percentages are set at 50, so if you want to get all of them on your team, prepare for multiple attempts. With that out of the way though, you've got Articuno and the Icy Flute on Mount Avalanche, Mew and the Grass Cornet in the Mystery Jungle, Kyogre and the Aqua Monica in the Bottomless Sea, Groudon and the Terra Symbol in the Shimmer Desert, Rayquaza and the Sky Melodica in the Sky Stairway, Heatran and the Fiery Drum in the Giant Volcano, and finally Giratina and the Rockhorn in the World Abyss. Having these items will make recruiting Pokemon like the Latias, Deoxys, and Darkrai much more doable. Lastly comes the challenge letters. Just about every day, you can find a random Pokemon standing at the front of Spinda's Cafe. And while a lot of the time it'll just be Magnemite wanting you to track down an outlaw, sometimes you'll receive a letter from a legendary mon asking for a challenge. These include Suicune in the Treacherous Waters, Entei in Inferno Cave, Raikou on the Southeastern Islands, and Mewtwo in Sky Stairway. It's also worth mentioning that you only need Sky Stairway to be unlocked to give yourself the chance of seeing Mewtwo's challenge, but for Suicune, Entei, and Raikou, you have to be Master 2, Guildmaster, and Master 3 rank respectively in order to see their letters. Now there is one more mon in this group, that being Jirachi. However, you have to do something a little different to receive its challenge letter. Upon completing Chapter 3 in the main story, the special episode involving Bidoof will be unlocked. This optional gameplay basically gives you the backstory to how Bidoof found his place in Wigglytuff's guild. But it's not so easy to complete, as at the end, you're tasked with defeating Jirachi, only using your level 10 Bidoof, who, mind you, only knows Tackle as an attacking move. If you want me to be honest, I could not figure out how to do it, but just know that if you are successful, you'll have the chance to get Jirachi's challenge letter and track it down in the Star Cave. Last but not least, there's a new set of dungeons titled the Zero Isles. These are easily the most challenging dungeons in the game, as they each come with their own list of restrictions. For instance, Zero Isle North prevents you from gaining EXP and from recruiting Pokemon. Zero Isle East resets your team members to level 1, and only allows you to bring in 16 items from your bag. West is much of the same, besides not allowing you to bring any items whatsoever, and Zero Isle South is basically a longer version of Zero Isle West. Exclusive to Explorers of Sky is also Zero Isle Center, which just combines North and East for an even more challenging experience. Now, why would you put yourself through all this? Well, you do get some nice rewards like a Wonder Chest and the Golden Mask, but at this stage in the game, how much more do you really need? And with that, we have hopefully done all there is to do in the post-game of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. It seems as though many of the story elements take place earlier on in the aftergame, while the legendary recruiting and optional challenges occur later on. Nonetheless, this post-game contained much more content than I initially expected. Although not everything was enjoyable to me personally, I still think Explorers of Sky's post-game is a solid one. For now though, I hope you guys enjoyed, have a great rest of your day, and until next time, deuces!